Hey, what's up? This isn't my usual type of content that I'm making. I think everybody who's been following me for a while knows that most of my content revolves about doing underwater flip turns or showing my aquatic skills. Um, I'm usually not the type of guy who goes on the internet and talks about the emotions, feelings, and lets a lot of people in. But I do believe with my choice of joining the Enhanced Games, there's lots and lots of things that I want to share with all of you, things that I'm learning along the way, and therefore I think it's important to talk about it. So let's get to it. All right, I've been reading some of the comments, and there's some recurring topics that I would like to talk about. One being just for the money. Sorry, but that's the only reason people like you take this step. Be honest, not the right step in my eyes, but money rules the world. Well, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like money, the financial compensation, wasn't a big part of it. Of course it was. I have worked a long, long time in this sport, and I personally do not see what's wrong with capitalizing on a skill that I have developed throughout my whole career. Anybody who knows me is aware that I've always challenged convention. In my very good friend circle in Charlotte, I have friends who would ask me, hey, when we have these conversations, I sometimes feel like you're just having an opinion to be contrarian, to say the opposite of everyone. But that is just always what I like to do. That is how I'm thinking. To be honest, that is what brought me to America. My choice of leaving Germany and going to America already wasn't the most popular choice. I attended the swimming league, the ISL swimming league, who was heavily criticized, and not a lot of people initially liked that part either. In my last season last year, I pretty much branched out from the traditional training system. I flew to training camps, trained by myself a lot of the times, and just decided to split from the herd. It's because that is something that I generally like to do. I've had a lot of conversations, with Brad, our head coach, with our medical team, and there's lots and lots of things within Enhanced Games that I'm really, really interested about. So yes, obviously, I'm not gonna argue that financial compensation wasn't a big part of it, but there's a lot of other points that are really, really interesting to me. Which brings me to point number 2. Okay, which brings me to my second point. A lot of things I've been reading are tying into safety and the precautions that we at Enhanced Games are taking. There's a German comment as well. I translated this to English. Crazy that your mental and physical health means so little to you. Just for more money, guess that's what you would call modern human experiments. But I'm sure you know what you're doing. Well, the money aspect I have already covered. In terms of safety, something that I want to say, I don't want to sit here and pretend like I initially joined the Enhanced Games because I was so interested about longevity and recovery and things tying into performance. I initially wasn't. This was something that developed while I was having more and more conversations with Brad, our head coach, with the internal team, with our doctors, where I have to admit I knew rather little about it. And throughout this process, I've already learned a lot, and it's something that I want to share with all of you. Then, we as athletes, we have full autonomy if a substance will enter your body, and also what substance will enter your body. It has been portrayed that I am just essentially sitting here and I have to take whatever substance is being recommended to me, which is factually incorrect. That is not true. Like I mentioned earlier, I do not like to be in an environment where this is exactly how you have to do it and you have absolutely no control over the things that are being actually recommended to you. No, I wouldn't have been part of the Enhanced Games if I didn't remain that autonomy as an athlete. That is really important to me. So I get to make the choice, if at all I take any performance enhancing supplements, and based off of my biomarkers, my blood work, etc., whatever is recommended to me, I can also choose what I want to do, if I want to do anything at all. Another thing, we have these substances. These are all legally approved under the FDA. These are all substances that already being prescribed by medical grade doctors. When we're going through this protocol, we always have a team of medical grade doctors who help us and guide us through this process so that we as athletes can make our most informed decision. I would have never joined the Enhanced Games if this Wild West type of scenario would have been the truth, which it isn't. So it's really important for me that that comes across. I had an interesting conversation the other day. This has nothing to do with athletes. My landlord came over. He was fixing my toilet, and I actually mentioned, hey man, like I recently decided I'm joining the enhanced games. He was asking me, what is it? I quickly explained, and he was saying, oh wow, he thought it was really cool. And then he mentioned, listen, he's 70 years old. I'm already taking this type of substance, and it has been really helping me. It has been helping me with my recovery. I feel healthier than ever. His biomarkers prove the same thing. And I think this is something that is also incredibly interesting because it ties into longevity, it ties into recovery, it ties into all these factors that can also be very, very beneficial for the general public, for the general audience, not just us athletes. And lastly, in order for us to even be considered that we can join the enhanced games, we have to go through pretty rigorous testing before. There's lots and lots of tests, blood work, etc., that you have to pass to show that your markers are right for you to even be considered. Like I mentioned, this league isn't for anybody, but the safeguards, the rules in place, they're really extensive. There's a lot going in, made sure by the enhanced games. Okay, this brings me to the third point. This ties into youth and children in the sport. This is a German comment that I received as well. I translated it to English. Let's hope that as few young athletes and kids as possible see this. This tramples on youth development in clubs and harms the sport in the long run. I will never endorse this towards kids or athletes. Definitely not. And also, I will never advise for anybody to do this without medical grade substances that is overseen with a professional staff of doctors. I will never prescribe, I will never advocate for anybody to do that. I made that decision myself. I am an adult making this decision, and I am totally fine reaping the consequences of my decision, but I want to be really, really clear that I will never ever recommend or prescribe for teenagers, kids, adults to do this. Never. And then lastly, the fact that I have to talk about this is quite frustrating, but let me be really clear. The traditional system, the traditional route needs to be clean. There's zero space for a non-clean sport. It is really important that system, that traditional swimming system remains clean. I will always advocate for that. This is not a us versus them. We are not trying to be anybody else. The enhanced games are a different, separate entity. I see this as entertainment. It is a derivative of the purest form of swimming. I think a lot of sports nowadays get a lot of traction by these derivatives events. Till the end, I will always advocate for clean sport. Clean sport needs to remain clean under any circumstances. The enhanced games is a different world with its own rules, and these two have to be separated. They will never be the same, and I will never ever endorse for the clean system to not be clean. I would say that was pretty much everything I wanted to cover for today. I'm going to remain to be honest and transparent with you guys. Like I said, I am learning as much about this as you do. I want to share this. I want to take you on that journey with me. So stay tuned and follow along for more insights. Thanks.